How are we doing today, guys? It's Jesse with the Common Man Corpus Christi, bringing you news and politics through a common sense lens. And we have some new information regarding the shooting suspect in the Louisville shooting that happened earlier in the week with the potential mayoral candidate for the Democratic Party. So this is really interesting, and this is something you're not going to see very widely reported in the mainstream news. They are trying to bury this story as much as possible. The Courier-Journal has even gone so far as to make it to where you can't go back and look at their old articles on the Wayback Machine because they don't want to admit this guy used to work for them and actually wrote articles for them. So here we go. From The Blaze, video resurfaces of Louisville shooter at gun control rally telling Joy Reid how much he loves David Hogg. Now, if you don't remember who David Hogg was, he was the little shit that came out after the Sandy Hook shooting and tried to use it basically as for political gain, coming out and going, "Oh, I can't, guns are so scary and we have to get them all off the ground." Da, 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 da. He was also the failed pillow guy too. He was trying to do a dig at Mike Lindell going, "We'll make our pillow and fight back against the My Pillow guy." Yeah, he tried to basically make it and source it strictly in the United States with like union-made labor and shit, and found out that was basically impossible in the United States because of everything that's been going on, and that all went away real quickly. So, but here we go. Let's get into this article. All right, the suspect arrested in connection with Monday's shooting of Craig Greenberg, a Democratic mayoral candidate in Louisville, Kentucky, has been identified as 21-year-old Quintez Brown, an activist for civil rights and gun control who in 2018 appeared with MSNBC's Joy Reid during the anti-gun violence March for Our Lives demonstration that followed the Parkland shooting. Oh, sorry, it was the Parkland shooting. Well, I guess this guy got involved in the Parkland shooting. A video of Brown's appearance with Reid was recirculated on Twitter by Chuck Ross, a reporter for the Washington Free Beacon, with the caption, "The Louisville activist who shot a mayoral candidate appeared on Joy Reid's show at an anti-gun violence rally. Said he loves David Hogg." So there you go. There's the video from MSNBC. Brown was charged with attempted murder and 4 counts of wanton endangerment after shooting at Greenberg in his campaign headquarters. But fortunately, no one was injured in the shooting that the Louisville Courier-Journal reported. The Courier-Journal also noted that Brown is a former intern and editorial columnist for the paper who in 2019 ripped into gun-loving Republicans for supporting a concealed carry law in Kentucky. "They put a price tag on your life and decided that blood money they received from the NRA is more valuable," Brown wrote of Republican lawmakers. "If enslaved blacks were considered people in 1789, this is how the Second Amendment would probably have read. A well-regulated white militia being necessary to the security of a free white state. The rights of white men to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed," he added. Gag! These guys are idiots and don't know squat about history. If they had gone back and read a single bit of the Federalist Papers or the journals of any of the Founding Fathers, they would have known this is complete and total garbage, that our Constitution was specifically designed to eliminate slavery. But these guys don't know history. They just believe the propaganda bullshit that comes out of the legacy media. According to journalist and author Andy No, Brown is also a Black Lives Matter activist and a huge fan of communist leaders Che Guevara, Chairman Mao, and Ibrahim France Fanon, in addition to David Hogg, of course. What a shocker there. Here's from Andy. He's got some pictures backing it up. Yep, there we go. Yep. All right, and look, here's more. Here's more pictures from him. Quintez Brown, this is from Andy, the black nationalist and Black Lives activist who allegedly tried to assassinate a Louisville mayoral candidate, was recognized by Obama Foundation and got to meet the former president. He was also championed by race hustlers Joyanne Reeve and the Reverend Al Sharpton. What a shocker there. And he goes on. They will be Che, they will be Mao, they will be Fanon. Louisville assassination suspect Quintez Brown praised communist leaders and critical race theory Ibrahim France Fanon. Brown's social media is filled with radical communist posts and leftist racial grievance propaganda. Here we go. And in a final, astonishing yet predictable twist, at least one media outlet found a way to blame the shooting on increasingly violent rhetoric coming from extremist Republicans. This was a Black Lives Matter activist who shot at a Democrat! Allegedly. I mean, come on! Really? How much? I mean, I've talked about mental gymnastics on this channel and on my nerd channel before, but holy crap, what kind of knots do you have to twist your brain in to get there? These people are insane. So from Jim Hansen, yeah, that's just horrible that your name's the same. Evil right-wingers twisted this poor oppressed man with their white supremacist mind control. What? So you're telling me white supremacists are so predominant in this country and they're so powerful that they can literally mind control a person into shooting at a Democratic candidate? These people are insane. They're completely nuts. Tom Bevan, holy F at the Las Vegas Sun. This editorial was written after the alleged shooter, Quintez Brown, was identified as a left-wing Black Lives Matter activist. Escalating hateful rhetoric leads nation down a dark, chaotic path. They're literally trying to blame Louisville on the right. They're literally trying to do that. See, this is why I tell you, this is exactly why I tell you, stop listening to the legacy media. These people are insane. CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, even, what's that, Newsmax. That new one that came out that was supposed to be all conservative and all supposed to be pushing back the agenda. They sold out. They're all a bunch of tools. Like, seriously, go after independent journalists. Do not trust the corporate media anymore. Yeah, there's a few good people left at Fox, but the majority of them are just shills for the corporate agenda. Whether that be the rhinos, whether that be the neocons, or just the regular old leftist establishment. We've seen plenty of people leave Fox News and go to CNN and MSNBC. Well, you want to bet their opinions were the same the whole time, that they were just spouting the company line. So please get away from these corporate medias. Find alternatives. Get with the Blaze. If you don't like Glenn Beck, get with the Daily Wire. If you're not a big fan of Ben Shapiro, if you want something a little more middle of the road, go check out timcast.com. That whole website, Tim's technically a center-left guy, and that's, his whole organization, his whole new organization is supposed to be just straight, pure news. They don't try to put a slant. They don't try to put an agenda on it. They even created a 501c3 that's specifically going to do fact-shaming and frame-checking as well. So it's not just going to be, they're not only going to make sure that all the facts are correct in everybody else's news stories, but they're also going to make sure that they're not taking the truth and twisting it to make you think something else. So I think that's another good thing. So those are some organizations you can go out there and check out. They've got channels on YouTube, on Rumble, on Odyssey if you like Odyssey. They've got a lot of other places to go check them out. Go get your information from these sources. Stop getting information from the mainstream media. It's all warped. It's all got an agenda. And at least if you're going with the Daily Wire and the Blaze, those guys have got reputations to protect. I guarantee you, if any of these guys get anything wrong, it will be on the front page of the New York Times on repeat over and over again and will be broadcast across every single news station in this country if they get anything wrong. So they are under way more scrutiny than the rest of this legacy media. So please go check their stuff out. Stop paying attention to these legacy media guys. Move on with your life. Find a new source of information that you trust, that you feel is comfortable and is not lying to you. And even if they do have a little bit of an agenda, like Daily Wire and the Blaze do, at least they're upfront about it and you know exactly where they're coming from. All right? But that's just my common sense take, guys. This is Jesse with the Common Man Corpus Christi, bringing you news and politics through a common sense lens. Thanks, guys. Also, if you're into nerdy stuff or any of that kind of stuff, I don't normally promote my channels on either one of them. But if you're into pop culture and sci-fi and, fantasy and any kind of like nerdy kind of stuff, geek stuff, any of that kind of stuff, go check out my other channel, The Common Nerd, on YouTube and Rumble both. Go check it out. It's just The Common Nerd. Spell it out just like that and it'll pop right up, The Common Nerd.